Hello and welcome to episode 171 of Planet Destiny. Moonvald, Nim, and TBL all went bowling, so you're stuck with me, Dan Finity, as your host for the evening. With us tonight, we have Aura,
Hi.
Xanafan711,
What's up?
and Isakole or Isosceles or Isakole, however you want to say her name.
Whatever works. It doesn't matter.
Whatever works. Whatever works. It's all right there. Hey guys, welcome. We have a lot to talk about in Destiny this week, so we'll get into that after Isakole. You're newer to the team. What all do you do here at Planet Destiny?
So I'm kind of in a little bit of a limbo. We're waiting for
Okay.
the website to be completely revamped, which I know takes a long time. But once it is, I'm going to actually continue doing what I was doing with Destiny Tracker, which is writing articles. A little bit of my forte is writing about the mechanical side of things, so like how the game works, things like bounding boxes, textures, that sort of thing, because I actually used to make simulators back in the day for private clients. So it's really interesting to break down Destiny in that way to help people understand the game better so they can play better.
That's excellent, man.
Yeah,
Well, welcome to the
it.
team.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's awesome.
yeah.
Welcome to the team. We love having you around. We love having you around.
Awesome, thank you.
All right, so what was everybody's highlight of the week in Destiny 2? Aura, we'll start with you.
I made some massive power level gains, almost like I was lifting,
Gains, bro?
like big time gains, bro.
Do
this
you
week.
even grind, bro?
We're talking about like plus 10, plus 12 gains on my characters, which was huge because I really struggled out of the gate to get power level, and I'm pretty confident now that if I could find a team that would put up with me, I could raid.
Yeah, but that's
That's tall order. It's a tall order, but I'm ready. I'm ready to go. It was the biggest thing for me was I actually did a lot of the things in order. You look at a lot of the strategy guides for power leveling. I did a lot of that in order, and that worked out really well for me. So whoever put that content out there, thank you. And I'm sure there's plenty of people who've done it, but it worked.
There's so many guides out there, and Travis from my clan current meta, he posted it in our Discord, and I immediately forgot it. Like forgot where it was. Just started doing dailies and stuff.
Yeah.
Isakole, what about you?
Oh, that's a hard one because I don't know. I finally hit 540 light, which is amazing. Actually, I think I hit 543, but in Iron Banner, there's been a lot of sweet plays, mostly because so many people are under leveled that I can melt them because I have Wave Splitter, which is completely overpowered. It melts. It completely melts, and I love it. And I get a lot of hate mail for it, which is great.
I've never even heard of that.
That's the trace rifle, right? That's the
it's a Void Trace Rifle for its PS4 exclusive.
That's why I haven't heard of it.
Yeah,
because you left your friends for frames, Zanny.
And I don't,
Exactly.
I don't miss PS4 Destiny.
I absolutely love it. But I think my favorite highlight of the whole week was I was in an Iron Banner match. I actually have it clipped on my Twitter somewhere, but a Warlock popped, was it the whole flame sword thing? I'm a hunter, so I don't really know all the other supers.
Dawnblade.
But Dawnblade, there you go. So Warlock popped Dawnblade right in front of me in a little pathway, the top hallway in Bannerfall, the new Bannerfall. He popped it right there in front of me, took one sword swing, it didn't hit me. I backed up and launched my tether because I'm the fun police. So I like to drown out people's fun, and I popped the tether. He took another swing and then got caught, and I melted him with Wave Splitter, and I have no regrets. I don't care. It was fun.
Oh, nice.
It was absolutely fun.
Well done. Xanafan, what about you?
My highlight in Destiny was platinuming Spider-Man. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my god.
I did do that, but
Get out.
on Tuesday, the only Destiny I've been able to play was Tuesday night. And I hopped on after work at like 1 or 2 in the morning, and I had 2 clan members that were like, "Hey, come join us. We'll show you." It was like, I think they had found 6 of the hidden chests in the Dreaming City by this point. They'd just been doing it for like 4 hours, and then we found another 2 or 3. I didn't get all the ones they had previously found, but so that was my highlight in Destiny, was like actually finding the hidden chests on our own instead of reading somewhere where they're at. So that was really cool.
Did you get any triumphs out of that? Did you get any of the lore or any of the secret Dreaming City triumph stuff from doing those?
You get one if you get all 10. So I got the first week's. triumph for finding all of them, but I didn't get it for this week because I didn't find all
So
of
is
them.
there 10 total, or do you have to find all 10 in a week?
There's 30 total, 10
Okay.
per week. I think it's the 3-week reset, right? Or is it 4?
I believe every 3 weeks
Yeah.
is when the Dreaming City re-ups. But I could be completely wrong about that, and I'm sure somebody in the comment section will
Yeah.
say so.
Well, there's
So
10
does-
per week until it goes back to how it was week 1.
Mhm.
Does that affect the Blind Well too? Do the bosses change in Blind Well?
I don't think so. Not that I've seen
Okay.
yet.
Well, so but the enemies do, because
Yeah.
last night while I was editing, I faced Hive almost exclusively all night
Yep.
instead
Ooh.
of Scorn.
Instead of
So
Scorn, yeah.
Okay.
yeah, so I don't know. I think that was the highlight of my week. Like I ended up getting Ace of Spades. I went ahead and
Nice.
did that because they patched the quest, which we can get to that a little bit later on.
They weakened
But,
it.
say what?
They weakened it.
Oh no, they
They-
clearly did, and I am thankful for it. Thankful for it, because I am really good at killing trash mobs, not so good with hand cannon kills on individuals.
All right.
But I ended up getting that. But I think the best thing was doing Blindwell last night. I was just trying to get the I hadn't gotten an offering for the Oracle yet.
Yeah.
So while I was editing, I was like, this is just mindless. Let's go ahead and knock this out. And I think we had 7 people at one time just going like tier 2s, just rolling and using that new Blade Super we were talking about a little bit beforehand on the show. But holy mother, that thing burns the bosses down
1,000
like
cuts.
nobody's business. Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. It's even gnarlier in Gambit. I don't know if you guys have tried it in that.
Yeah,
it's
yeah, it
it's
is.
an invading win button.
Oh no, you save that. You save that until you get into the primeval, and you get
Well,
2.
you can do it for either because it targets your enemies, and there's only 4 enemies when you invade.
Oh, oh, 1,000 cuts. We were using. We
Yeah.
had two hunters using 1,000 cuts, and just melted a boss before they could even get theirs down, like loaded in. It's pretty bonkers.
That's good.
Aura's right. They are going to nerf it into the ground.
Yeah,
I'm
they
just
are.
expecting so many changes to supers because the Solar Hunter super is also very strong.
Mhm.
And like whether it's boss DPS or whatnot, like it's like an Aether, depending what's going on, this might be the same for Gambit as well. It's a significant chunk of boss damage in one foul swoop without any assistance from Melting Point, from Tether,
Mhm.
from anything
Mhm.
that would add more DPS to it. It's just a monster. That super is wicked.
Ugh. I don't
So
want to
good.
even think about it connecting with like with anything that would buff it. I don't want to face it. If I get help, if I get hit with something, every time I see somebody with 1,000 cuts, because they just kind of slide sideways
Uh-huh.
on your screen. Nope. I just want to get out of there immediately. There's no saving. Shall we get into the news of the week?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right. Iron Banner returned this week. It was Control. How many people played Iron Banner this week?
I played some matches.
Yeah, I played quite a bit. I
Bare
can't help
minimum.
myself.
Yeah.
Very bare minimum of it.
Yeah.
I didn't really enjoy the experience myself.
3 or 4
Yeah.
matches. I was way under leveled compared to everyone by like 20.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I didn't
Well-
consider myself low power. I was like, I should be all right. I'm like 535 or something like that.
Yeah.
Roll in there. Nope. I was getting melted by 550s, 560s all over the place.
I had a completely different experience. So every time, well, not every time, but most of the time my team and I went in there, we were getting mercies left and right. The only time we got completely stomped was when we hit the highest tier so high in the matchmaking. It actually threw us into the Asian servers, and then we got crushed.
Mm.
But yeah, it threw us in a completely different server because all of the names were in a completely different language. They weren't English anymore.
That's
So,
awesome.
yeah, it was
Nice.
fun for me.
I think
I
the key
loved it.
word there is teams. You know, and
Yeah.
I'm mostly a
Mhm.
solo queue player for the most part, and it's tough with anything. It's tough with Gambit.
Mhm.
It's primarily tough with something like Iron Banner, but the the queue times, like waiting to match up for a while, kind of got a little bit frustrating.
Yeah.
I didn't really feel too bad about the damage difference between levels though. Like I don't know what math they
Mhm.
use. I don't know the exact numbers, but I never really felt like as a 530, 540 player that I was unmatched. Like, oh my god, this guy's so much higher. I'm so like my shotgun killed them just as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that wasn't it for me. As a solo queue player, mostly playing against full teams, it went for a lot of rough games with people who just quit. Before you know it, I've got
Oh yeah.
2 other people on my team. So
Mhm.
that was
Yeah.
most of my experience. I was like, I don't have the time for this. And the powerful rewards, like what was it, 75 kills or something?
think
It
so,
was a
yeah.
lot of
Yeah.
kills. It was a
It's a
lot of
lot.
this and that. It was like that's an awful lot of investment for like a
Mhm.
possible +1.
Right.
I don't really want to
Yeah.
spend that much
Yeah.
time getting a +1 powerful drop when I could go to a Nightfall, 100k Nightfall,
Mhm.
in the same amount of time. So
Yep.
Yeah. It definitely felt. It didn't feel like when I was going in. I was steady. I'm in that 530 to 540 range all week,
Yeah.
and I didn't feel an escalation when it came to damage, but it definitely kind of felt like a bell curve. If you were lower than I think 500, I think I saw a couple of them.
Mhm.
They definitely got annihilated pretty quick, but it wasn't like a complete blowout. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it doesn't
Yeah.
feel like D1 did when Iron Banner first
Mhm.
dropped with the power levels. I didn't feel like I was melting people. It felt significant for people who were lower than me, but people who were outpowered by me by 20 levels or something, it didn't feel like I was completely being obliterated.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like it used to in D1.
I think
Mhm.
for me, it's because I run a very specific loadout and playstyle in Crucible that
Mhm.
is very reliant on your damage numbers. So, like, I run Fighting Lion, Home for the Lost, Top Tree Sentinel.
oh no,
Yeah. So
Or and
no.
I have fought about this before in his chat, but
Oh, God.
so when they're like a little bit higher light than me, I'm used to getting a one-hit body with Home for the Lost for my kill, and if light level or power level matters, that might not be the case. So a kill that I'm used to getting, they might have a sliver left and then kill me instead because it's just a slight difference. But,
right.
but yeah, I didn't notice I was dying any faster, but I was not killing things as fast with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the most noticeable thing for me was that shoulder charge was no longer a one hit.
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
can't tell you how many shoulder
Yeah.
charges I landed, and the guy was like, "Hey, I'm right here.
Yep.
How you doing?" And I was
I
like,
got this sliver.
You're
Yep.
supposed to be dead right now, dude. Like, what do you like? We're
Yeah.
both kind of looking at each other like, I'm alive, and I'm like, you're alive, and we're like, do we just walk away? Do we call this a truce? I don't know what we do here. This is so weird. I don't. So that was my biggest noticeable difference
Yeah.
was
Or two
simply
hit
the shoulder
punches.
charge.
You
Yeah,
punch them twice
yep,
and then they
two-
don't die.
yeah.
Oh, right. Power level enabled.
I think there actually has been a change to shoulder charge though, because
Mhm.
all I ever play is Hunter. I don't play anything else, and
Right.
I found that when Titans were coming towards me to do the whole shoulder charge thing, because it's very obvious when you guys are doing it.
Mhm.
It's like a whole bunch of red flags everywhere, and might as well put fireworks out because hey, it's coming.
Yeah.
Just
But I
like somebody
found
coming on to you at a bar. It's pretty obvious.
exactly. So I found that just a single jump and the targeting doesn't follow anymore. Like there's
Mhm.
no lateral anymore with the shoulder charge, which I find actually rather nice. But it also cheapens shoulder charge at the same time.
Yep.
Mhm.
I I didn't think there was a nerf anywhere. I wouldn't actually call it a nerf, but there was a change, and it was definitely significant because I was finally winning melee fights with Titans, which shouldn't happen anyways, even with the little tiny
Yeah.
T-Rex arms, punching at me. But there's definitely a noticeable change with shoulder charge, but I haven't seen any documented notes. But maybe it's just me. I
It's
don't know.
just
Mhm.
the hit detection woes that
Yeah,
have been
it's-
around. Yeah.
It's changed. Just for maybe I'm just being paranoid, but I think
Yeah.
there's actually some change going on.
I don't use shoulder charge. I'm not that kind of Titan.
Just a fighting lion using player who doesn't use shoulder charge.
I don't know what's worse.
You're
fighting
such a
lion or
saint,
shoulder
I
man.
would
charge?
much
You're-
rather
Saint,
get my
dude.
health back by hitting you with fighting line and then punching you once instead of shoulder charging and not getting my health
Oh, that
back.
just sounds like a lovely evening.
Oh my gosh. Did anybody get any weapons to drop, or any specific roles that were notable to you guys?
Third Jade Rabbit. My third Jade Rabbit dropped this week. Smart loot system, smart exotic system working flawlessly. Just completely flawlessly as intended with my third Jade Rabbit, number 3. And that's really...
It almost sounds like you have something against it.
I don't know what you're talking about. I was very happy to receive my... Listen, it was a power level increase, and I'm fine with that. I've been saving the Ace of Spades for when my kinetic weapon is at the weakest out of everything for a guaranteed boost in power level. So I still don't have it yet, but I've gotten 2 exotic drops in all of year 2 so far. I've gotten the Peacekeepers. Is that what they're called for the Titan?
Those are fun. Yep.
The pants. I got the Peacekeeper pants, and I got the... I called them pants. That's right. And I have the Jade Rabbit for the third time. Number 3.
Nice. Hey, you can infuse an exotic into a legendary for just Glimmer and Shards, I think.
I don't know what I would put there. Like, nothing really speaks to me just yet. A Go Figure. I think people hate the Go Figure, right?
Go Figure is pretty much been the favorite gun across the board, it seems.
Yeah.
Dado loves it. Mercules loves it.
What's the one in the energy slot? It's the one that's right for wrong, or no right for wrong.
Right side of wrong.
Yes, that one right there. People, I see that. I see Go Figure a lot.
Yep.
I'm seeing a lot of shotguns.
Bygones is supposed to be really good as well.
Yeah,
Bygones is pretty good. Yeah.
And oh yeah, Bygones. I heard that's like a two hit, like 2 tap. I blame Bibble if that's wrong.
Maybe on low resilience, if it's an aggressive, that might be possible. On a low resilience, if you hit all 8 shots.
I haven't been killed by it. I've played a fair amount of Crucible just for weekly and whatnot. You got to play 5 games, I think, for your weekly.
Yeah.
So a decent amount of Crucible for 2 characters, and I haven't really run into too many. There hasn't really been one specific thing. I'm like, oh my god, there that is. Oh no, like they're really. I don't know if people are still trying to figure it out, but there's been a lot of flexibility in terms of weapons right now.
Yeah, it's nice.
Have you guys
lions? No, I'm fighting lions.
I did put it away for a little bit to run.
It wasn't that long though.
It wasn't that long. I switched out for Chaperone and Trust instead.
Oh, Chaperone's back. That's right. It's so snappy.
Oh, it's great.
I couldn't stand D1. I'm not gonna be able to stand D2, but there's ways to counter that.
But you better believe.
Has anybody
play the game doesn't?
Go ahead.
Play the game doesn't ever leave the heavy slot ever for anything.
It's a good grenade launcher.
It's so good. The OG roll.
Yeah. So, like, do you guys find yourself dipping into your year 1 stash more, or less with the system of random rolls that they have instituted?
The raid hand cannon. I'll still use that quite a bit.
Coup.
I forget what it's called. Midnight Coup. Yeah, that's still kind of a go-to weapon for me.
No, I think my system has totally changed up since random rolls dropped. And I used to run my whole thing with anyone that knew me was I ran Mida all the time. Didn't matter what I was doing, just Mida all the time. I love it. I actually have a replica of it in real life. It's great. Awesome. But I put these random rolls just for some reason in Destiny 2 year 2, they actually feel really good. Like I'm running Bygones in PvP. I'm running what's the other one, Trackless Waste in Gambit in the raid. It actually feels really good. So the whole thing's completely changed for me. Although Wave Splitter still doesn't come off. It still doesn't come off. Like it just I can't help it. It just melts. It's like Prometheus Lens and that whole crazy laser weekend. Just they haven't nerfed it yet. It's great.
It's a fun weapon.
Yeah. I haven't used any of the trace rifles in a while.
The lore tab on Wave Splitter is hilarious though. I love it.
And what's it document?
So I can't remember word for word, but basically it's a documentation from the Brave facility that when an enemy is hit by it, it's actually a harmonic like sound wave going through the whole body that it actually hurts because it's loud inside the bones, as the text says. So you're literally being vibrated to death by harmonic sound.
That's horrible.
It's fantastic. It's absolutely horrible, but I love it.
I just get like clashing sound waves vibe.
Yeah, it's not pretty.
When you're tuning something and it's way off.
Yeah.
Has anybody played the new Convergence map yet? I've gotten it a couple times in the rotation.
Never
What's
dropped for me.
Convergence?
Is that the PS4 exclusive map?
I don't
No,
think so.
it was the
Or-
remade one, right?
Yeah. It was the
D1?
remake. Yeah, I forget
It's on
what it was
Pantheon.
called.
Pantheon, yeah.
Yeah, they said it was in rotation, and then I
Mhm.
No, I
got
haven't
3
seen
Jade
it.
Rabbits, and
Oh god. No, actually, I saw the preview for Pantheon, and I love that they added a second hallway in the back of the map near the waterfall because
Mhm.
it was so hard to, you bottlenecked and you practically won the game, just held the line. But with that second hallway, there's a lot of play that can be done. I haven't gotten the map yet.
Oh,
So
so you mean Snipers? The map is back.
yeah, Snipers, the map is back.
Oh god.
Wonderful.
I have
like-
good memories of Pantheon as a map from D1. It'd be nice that if it was more prevalent, if they would adjust sign of like the mathematics a little bit to have new maps kind of pop up even a tad
Yeah,
more.
they
'cause
should be
I'm not
having
the only
more
person who's
heavily
not seen it.
weighted.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of the player base hasn't seen that map yet, and I feel like a lot of us, at least I hope most of us have good memories of that. If you were trying to go flawless and you ran into a bunch of
Oh
snipers
my
the entire
God.
time, maybe not
Yeah.
the best. Not the best
Yeah.
time.
I just remember I remember playing Trials on that map. I do have good memories because there was one point where you can hear me yell, "Oh no, I fell off the map!" While while my buddy was getting a team wipe with his hammers and dodging rockets. So you could, like, watch his clip and he's dodging rockets and throwing hammers at people in Trials, and then me in the background is yelling, "Oh no, I fell off the map!"
The best,
It was so
the
good.
very best was when Heavy was out on that little rung, that little itty bitty like 2-foot section on the outside,
Yeah.
not Waterfall Heavy, but the other Heavy.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
you would always see the Titan smash try to kill the entire team going for that and just missing and Titan slamming right off the map.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that to me was always a good time.
That may
Yeah.
have been what was happening to me. So I was
I
definitely
like
a
that map
striker.
for Rift. The Pantheon map from D1 was perfect for Rift because I actually liked that game mode. I was one of those strange people that like to play it.
Mhm.
And going invisible with the orb and going on the outside border, no one
Yeah.
expected. No one's expected the Spanish Inquisition. Here I come. I'm invisible. You
Oh my
can't see me
God.
coming. And
Mhm.
just triple jump over with Bones of Eo, and I'm already in there, and I've killed the entire team. I loved it. That was
Yep.
my fun memories.
I
was
also
just
loved
being in
Rift,
there.
being an always
Wow.
Dune Marcher's Titan.
Oh God.
What's wrong with like all of the Crucible, dude? Like you were just literally what's wrong with it?
I
is
can't
the meta.
aim, all right? So because I can't aim, I have to find other ways to be decent in Crucible, because I won't say I'm good, but that's why I play up close, guns you don't have to aim at with punches.
Oh Lord. Maybe that's why I play Night Stalker, just to ruin all your guys' fun.
So Zen, what you're saying is if you got a Jade Rabbit, you wouldn't use it.
I have a Masterworked Jade Rabbit on PS4 that I don't play anymore.
Mm.
Oh my god.
Which I loved. The last time doubles were going on, I got the whole masterwork done for that, and it was me and Nikki actually, and we were shredding people, and it was weird because I was using a gun you actually have to aim, kinda. I'm pretty sure
rifle.
that. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure I just heard on Massive Breakdown's podcast that gun has the most aim assist of any gun in all of Destiny 2.
Well, when
Or
it
the
fires
second.
around every 40 minutes, it needs to have good.
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful.
So technically, you don't actually aim Jade Rabbit. You just get like
Just hit fire it.
as long
In
as
the
you're like
general direction.
on that block, then you're gonna get a headshot.
Just within this mile
Mhm.
that I can see.
Yeah.
Well, so as you may know, we're going to move on to the raid. We had Glad on last week. Congratulations to Glad and Clan Redeem for
Yeah.
world's first there.
Yep.
So the raid, has anybody dipped in yet? Like,
Nope, not yet.
So I actually had a team going in day one for the
Mhm.
last wish because I always take the day off and try to go for worlds first. Like anybody could beat Clan Redeem. Come on. Might as well try though. It's fun. And we always go in blind, and we were sitting at 525 to 535, not realizing it was going to top out at 580 or whatever it tops out at, some ridiculous number. And we sat at the first boss for, I'm going to say see, my husband came home. Time elapsed. I can't remember. 8 hours. We were on the
Oh my
first boss
God.
for 8 hours, just trying to figure it out. Because we could, I went in blind like everybody else, figuring out its mechanics, searching a little cavern that was, in the first area, and I didn't want to believe that it was a massive DPS check going in at first. Like there has to be something else. There has to be some kind of buff, something we're missing. And then finally, after 8 hours, my clan founder was like, "No, it's a DPS check. We're not going to be able to do this." It's like, well, that was it. We called it. And I was actually a little mad about that because going in 520, it's like, oh yeah, we can at least do the first one. Yeah, no, that's as far as I've gotten. But it was fun figuring out the new mechanics and everything because I like what they're doing with like the symbols and having to do like we all know the repeats of 3 that Bungie does, but seeing the change of the entire environment, like the stained glass windows coming down. I'm sorry if I'm spoiling anything for anybody, but catching those little nuances was a lot of fun, at least that first encounter. But I haven't seen anything more since then. But
Right.
I think it's
seen any of the raids since then.
Like I've seen Clan Redeem beat the final boss. I've seen Riven in the final form, but I haven't seen anything else because I love going in blind, and I have a lot of friends that like going in blind. So we like to go in, figure it out, and then once we get sick and tired of wiping, that's when we look up an actual, strat or what have you, walk through, and then we move on to the next encounter and repeat the whole thing because figuring it out for ourselves is half the fun. That's only the real thrill I get out of Destiny anymore. Is because okay, we got the grind, we got the exotic missions, whatever. We know what's going to happen, but going into the raid blind and figuring that out is my final thrill in Destiny. Because being a day one player, I've seen it all. So figuring out as I go, that's what I love to do. So it's really hard to stay spoiler free for 2 weeks.
That's got to be difficult because my entire Twitter feed is full of nothing but people doing it upside down, backwards. Bombing themselves at the same time as killing. Like there's so much going on for spoilers in my Twitter feed. I'd have to ignore like the entire community in order for me to pull something like that off. I can't.
I just keep scrolling. I just keep scrolling.
Right.
No raid for me, and I think the biggest challenge, I feel like a lot of the community can relate to this, is that I don't really have like a 6, 7, 8 hour chunk of the day that I can dedicate to beating my face against the wall trying to beat an encounter. So I think nothing would make me happier. Like nothing would make me happier than beating my face against the wall for 8 hours trying to beat an encounter. Well, I think I'm gonna have to go in when I'm super power for it, like 570, 580, so that I can get in with a group and just get it done. I'd rather struggle. I actually like the challenge of struggling through encounters. I like it when the AI is at its strongest and I'm at my weakest because you really don't have a lot of room for error. But I don't have the time to dedicate to that, so I have to wait until I got my power level up where I can go in. I mean, I know the encounters, I know the guides and stuff like that. I've seen it all, so it's just a matter of execution and just finding a group that we can get it done relatively within a working man's time slot, if you will.
Yeah. I still haven't set foot in it. I haven't set foot in it. I've seen very little of it outside of what I've caught. I stopped in Polar Bear's stream earlier when she was running with Mega and saw like a room, and I was like, I don't know what any of this is, but it looks nice.
Right.
And I've seen a couple of videos. I'm gonna drop in chat a guide that Fami, who at the time of this recording, I believe has the most clears of Last Wish.
Okay.
He posted on Reddit earlier this week, breaking down all the encounters. I read through that like once, and I think I get it, but I'm excited and rushing to get my light back up to competitive levels with it. I'm just really excited to jump in.
Yeah.
I've
only seen Riven, and not even all of it. I watched I watched the math class beat their heads against the wall at Riven for about 2 hours on the first day, and I still don't know at all what to do at that encounter. Just from there's leading each other and your team split. I'm pretty sure that's all I figured out from watching them for 2 hours on the same encounter. But I'm just really glad that they made it so hard. I honestly thought that Bungie was trolling us all with all this world's first real life loot
Mhm.
and the emblem and the jacket and stuff. I was under the impression that the final encounter was probably going to be 600 and no one was going to beat it at all in the first
Yeah.
week. And I would have been happy with that being an MMO player because the way they work in MMOs is you go into the first. There's 3 tiers of raids usually, and you have to have gear from the first tier to move into the second, and gear from the second to move into the third, whatever. Fastest way to get gear is to do the encounters that you can in the raid, so it's kind of similar in that fashion. Like if you can only beat the first boss, you better beat that first boss every week. It's going to give you the most gains until you can beat the first 2 bosses and so on. So I'm really happy that they made it challenging in that way, as opposed to what did Wrath of the Machine take like 6 hours for World's First?
Yeah,
Something like
it
that.
wasn't anything impressive.
I feel like it might have been a little bit longer than it was 11 for Vault of Glass, right?
14 for Vault of Glass.
It was 14 for Vault of Glass. I think it was 6 for Crota. It might have been 6 for the first pass of Crota. I feel like, I don't know. It's been a while. It's
Can't
been a long
remember.
time.
Yeah.
Hit my face against many walls trying to beat great bosses, so might not be remembering.
Yeah.
Remember my 3 Jade Rabbits, though.
Wrath
I
is
mean,
the only
you
one
have-
I did
you
go
have
in
that-
blind.
You have that Titan super that smacks your head against walls as well. So
You know, I want to retract a statement I made about that our first week here because it has turned into such silly fun being face smashing Titan Man. DPS that it does on bosses is pretty significant as well. It hits very hard. But it's still pretty silly that your weapon is face. Like that's just weird to me.
Mhm.
It seems oddly appropriate since there's something really important in there that you had to protect. So you're basically just a big old juggernaut.
We're
so.
Titans. Let's not get too.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Oh goodness.
Oh my goodness. Well, so discovered this week, we found out that there are several like wishes that you're able to make in the raid itself.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna post a link in chat to that from Prima Games. So this is designed around the lore that like Morozov designed the Wall of Wishes so that the Ahamkara couldn't skew her words, right? So it's all pictographs. It's all like trying to show you like trying to iterate what you want to where you want to go to or what you want out of the wish. Some of them are still out in the wild, still undiscovered. But we have like Wish 2. It spawns a chest along the path between Morgoth, the Spire Keeper fight in the vault. I will keep that in chat. So we have Wish 2, 3, 4. Some of them give raid chests. Some of them make you skip entire encounters. What do you guys think of that?
Well, and some of them make the silly grunt noise from Halo.
Yeah. Which is
I
amazing.
thought I was going crazy when I first heard that. I was like, I'm not hearing that. And then someone in chat made the comment, and I was like, all right, maybe I am hearing that. And then I think it was Professor Broman who like started talking about I was like, that sounds like it's from Halo. And then he was like, oh, it's the Halo. What was it? The little weird guys.
The birthday grunt.
Yeah.
Because
That's
their
it.
heads used to explode with confetti.
Mhm.
It was
So
amazing.
weird,
I loved
dude.
it.
In terms of skipping encounters, I go back to when we used to do Oryx and we just didn't want to do totems because somebody had to go and mess it up. Without a
Mhm.
doubt, somebody would mess up totems. Or
Always.
Vault of Glass and just starting at oracles, like being able to start at checkpoints. We would always save a checkpoint on like an alternate character because we could just come to that part right away. So building it into the game is just another avenue of saving us the hassle of getting the
Yeah.
checkpoint of the character, logging out, coming back in on our friends, everybody wiping,
Yeah.
changing characters again, flying back in. Like I don't think there's anything wrong with it. And like what I guess because certain aspects of the raid only drop certain power level pluses, right? Like +1,
Mhm.
+5 is also distributed throughout the raid. So if you're
Mhm.
already like 590, I'm gonna go to my best shot of getting like a +5 drop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For someone who's further along. So I'm cool with it.
I think it's ingenious because other than blind raids, I absolutely love taking in people who haven't done a raid yet, just popping that
Mhm.
cherry and getting their clear because the enthusiasm in their voice is, oh my God, I finally have a clear.
Mhm.
So having the whole wish thing of skipping sections is fantastic because I can take people in and say, okay, you haven't done this part. Here's mechanics because teaching the mechanics just for one section is much more beneficial than going through the whole thing of, okay, you've been through this part, here's this next part, now I need you to listen. So
Mm-hmm.
as a Rage Sherpa, taking someone straight to an encounter and going, okay, this is exactly how it is. And now instead of having the 2 hours that led up to that encounter, we now have those 2 hours banked into learning this encounter, this one specific one, because we had the
Right.
wish. So I think it's really ingenious. That means I don't have to run through the entire raid up to a checkpoint and then I can Sherpa. It's okay, here's the wish, we're in it, let's go. So it saves a lot of time for people who are trying to help other people. I think it's fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Well, and they've done a lot with designing the design outside design of the raids. So like I kind of count this as one of those things where like you're going out in the world and you're finding these wish runes, right? These like little pictographs. I feel like the raid banners are an excellent addition as well
Yeah.
that they've brought in. Yeah, so that you like it just starts
Huge.
like a public event. You can get your super, you can get heavy instead of having to wipe every time. I think that that's a great move
Yeah.
forward.
Yeah.
What do they cost to buy? Is it shards?
You can shards or I think the
dark fragments?
I was gonna say either like legendary shards or Barian bows. Glimmer and shards is what ZG says.
Is that how you say it? Barian vows. Right.
I thought
I
it was
believe so.
bows.
Bows
Makes
is
sense.
how
I just
said
call
it.
it the purple.
The
Yeah.
purple.
I just call it the purple.
Well, like I forget which nursery rhyme the when the bow breaks the cradle will fall. So I always just assumed that.
Isn't
Oh,
that?
the Rockabye Baby.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
I don't want to go into
dumb.
interpretations of that song because I'm not going to make a fool out of myself yet.
Well, understandable. But yeah, I think that's a good thing all the way around. I think the raid team did an excellent job so far.
Yeah.
Like from what little I've seen, it looks very challenging. It
Yeah.
looks like your team has to have it together, regardless of if that's an LFG team. May God have mercy on your souls. Or if it's a
Right.
team that you assembled to put together. I feel like it's going to be a challenge regardless. And I
A
think
team
that
from
that's
IKEA, dude. You just gotta.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I got the one key. Just
Yeah, I think the environment's great too, because I kept seeing on Twitter this photo of just Riven's heart, and it'd be like these little people running across, and then like, oh, there's a hand in the background, and then come to find out you're actually inside of Riven's heart, and your teammate is carrying the heart. Like a level of detail of having the hand there and seeing, just catching the atmospheric difference between seeing that goldish brown gross color. I guess I don't know, Ankara cards are gross colored, but whatever. Just like seeing that goldish grossness and then having your partner actually holding it at the same time, just that connection there is just amazing. So you have this whole environment inside of something that your teammates holding, and that whole reality warp is just amazing to me that they even thought of that. Like that's just astounding to me, because the way it would have to work with the region, because that's, I know people saw this Titan fly into an ascendant realm already. Like I don't know how people figure this out, but having that whole region of Riven's heart, so your partner's outside and then you have your people inside, just the whole region and the parcels and having to upload the data from one section to another is just, it's mind-boggling to me, and that's my nerdiness coming out. But the fact that they thought of that and was able to implement it with mechanics that's so heavy and having all that coding flow is just like, it makes me drool. Like it's a nice piece of chocolate cake. Like, oh my god, it's amazing. I'm so excited. I just want to see the mechanics. That's just me and my nerdiness, but that's just amazing to me that they even thought of that. Like I cannot wait to get in there. But yeah, I'll stop geeking out. That's my fault.
It's cool. No, this show is for geeking out. It's completely fun. Before we move on to the TWAB and the hot fixes of the week, I'm gonna post in the chat a link that I found on Reddit. Gasp! I read Reddit this week, guys.
Jeez.
This was from user ZozoT3. He posted this like yesterday or a day ago. but he was. I get Scott Taylor is at TGS 2018, and while there, he was talking like he commented on Petra, Fast Travel, the Prestige Raid, and Masterwork Cores.
Okay.
Petra will move her location every week, which is interesting because we've
Okay.
already seen that once. After all of this craziness has gone down in the Dreaming City, they're not going to be adding an extra fast travel spot in the Dreaming City. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
I don't care that much.
Yeah,
It's annoying.
yeah,
I have to agree. It's a little annoying because having to, when she's in the gazebo, having to travel all the way there. Now, granted, we all have sparrows, and this is a virtual reality where we
Yeah.
don't actually have to walk. It's still kind of annoying. I wish it would add it to the other side of the map because just getting into the blind well alone, which actually does have a character limit, you can actually only have up to 9 people in there. Believe it or not,
Mhm.
we tried it. Um, just I don't know, just the whole thing because you drop in the same place, it's just going to be the same mundane drop instead of okay, I need to go over here. Let's just do it real quick. So I really think they need the other side of it for the fast travel, just because it's so tedious to get around. It's confusing as hell too. Like I still forget where I am half the time, but. Yeah, they really need another spot on the other side of that map just to help save with time too of having to travel everywhere because sparrows are fast, but they're not that fast. But that's just me.
You can tell Petra, I think she has, well, maybe not, because she had like an area around her with her first spawn,
Mhm.
and you can find that same exact area in the third region, but she's
Okay.
not in that same area at this current spawn. She's just like on a rock, so maybe it's not. But I was kind of like, maybe you could predict where she's gonna go. But what's the point of her moving? Like, why? Why does she move?
My guess would be that like as we're seeing this rotation go on, that well, design wise, it makes it more dynamic, right? So like you
Just
have to
putting
go
a
find
person
her.
somewhere else, though. It's like,
Yeah, like, but we've also had different story elements progress as well, right? So
Yeah.
like the first week we had a strike. This week we had a mission, right? I believe.
Yep.
So yeah, ZG photo in chat says I thought it was because people were complaining. But like yeah, it like design wise it feels more dynamic if she could be anywhere. But like the ease of which I agree there should be like another spot like probably in the north like upper right hand corner of that map like in the ribbon thing.
Yeah.
But outside of that like I kind of enjoy it because it's kind of like a hunt, kind of like with Zur before we had the little marker on the map, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
I don't know. I'm still stuck on the question of why she moves because we do have the changes every week. Like when the raid was finally beaten, we had all this little taken spots everywhere. I thought my TV was going out.
Mhm.
So there has to be some reason for it because to actually have her move and have the different animations, the poses, all of it, that's a lot of extra work on the studio's part. So there
Mhm.
has to be some kind of either mechanic or story wise of why she moves because no other planetary, as I call them, planetary ambassadors,
Mm-hmm.
does that. So there has to be some reason within the Dreaming City why she does. Because not even Spider moves.
It's
in Dreaming City.
because the map changes like to let you know which week of ascendant
that's
challenges
yeah.
or whatever you've got for that week.
I could see that being what's going on. I
Mhm.
think, and chat brings it up, like yeah, you could take portals for fast travel, and it's like yeah, but you got to burn through tinctures, and again, we might play the game a lot more than most people do, and the
Mhm.
tincture might not be something that a lot of people first of all understand or know how to acquire just yet. So
Mhm.
even having to use a consumable for fast travel, I'm not super down with personally,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but so let me ask you this. The story is continuing after the raid was completed, right? I thought
Mhm.
the raid was supposed to change every week, but it seems like we're getting a new story to continue
Mhm.
this storyline every week. And I don't know if like is is Petra becoming like the purple cube of Fortnite where she's like slowly moving towards, or is she gonna be like, is she only gonna be in these 3 different spots per week, or is she trying to move us towards what our ultimate objective is going to be by the time it's by the time it's
Yeah.
over. I'm not sure.
That would be my guess. Is that like we're going to we're going to see her story progress with hours after the raid has already been beaten in game. Like
Mhm.
it was super smart the way that they integrated the raid being completed into the story. Like that clan is now almost forever in the lore in canon of Destiny.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Which is awesome.
Yeah. So that would make me think that they're leading to like some big change that involves either Xivu Arath or Savathun
Right.
in the raid eventually, but I don't know.
We have um like minions of Xivu Arath in the Dreaming City, right?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen
Yeah.
any Savathun minions, but I've seen Xivu Arath ones. So I would not be surprised by that.
Yeah. That concerning the raid, Bungie actually had to have someone there to stay the night at Bungie to turn on the changes to the Dreaming City.
Oh wow.
In
Because it
case
took so
happened
long
overnight.
to yeah, I guess because it took so long. Well, not took so long because hello, but because it was what? How long was it? 19 hours.
19 hours.
19
Yeah.
hours.
Yeah, because it was a
Yeah.
19-hour thing. I guess they would have had to have somebody stay
So it
overnight.
was what 5 a.m. almost or 4:40 something in the morning in Washington when the raid was beat. Because it started
Was
at
it?
10 Pacific, right?
Yeah.
10 Pacific.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
I think your math's off a little bit
okay,
there.
it is off.
Like,
No, it's not.
I
No,
don't
it's
know.
not.
It's not.
No, it's
I
not.
don't know. I've had some water to drink.
Speaking of which,
Yeah.
Hey.
19 hours would make it 5 a.m. and it was 18:48, so it was 4:48 a.m. Pacific when it was beaten.
Yeah, that's actually
I've
right.
been up
Yeah.
later than that drinking. They were fine,
You
dude.
doubt me, Dan.
They were fine. 45's nothing.
But so they were also upcoming Prestige and for the Last Wish is coming. They just haven't decided a release date. Details for the Festival of the Lost will be announced in the next couple of weeks. That's kind of exciting.
Dope. I bet this is going to be one of the best Festival of Lost we ever had because we lost Cade.
Oh
My heart.
Oh
So-
my god.
Maybe y'all lost Cade, but I have him right the hell here, man. Cade's alive and well. He's in my hand right now.
Yeah, I actually have let's see.
Y'all
I have
talking about
1, 2,
losing
3.
Cade.
I have 4 Kates on my desk, so I'm good.
I have one figurine, and it's Shax.
Wow. Someone with a fighting
Shax
lion would
from?
have Shax.
Shax is supposed to come out for like 2 more months. Where'd you get Shax at?
I have the old Shax Pop figure, 235.
Oh,
Yeah.
Pop. I don't like those things. They're ugly.
It's literally the only figurine I have of any
Listen,
kind.
Cole, I'm gonna need you to stop.
Yeah, no. Those
Yeah.
things are ugly. I can't stand them.
But this is Deadpool as Bob Ross.
I don't care.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
How do you? Broke my heart. This time.
I think I broke him.
All right.
Broke my
And
heart.
that's it for Pop Corner. It shows here also that Bungie abused the Masterwork core too much, and they are going to address it. Private matches for Gambit are coming in, and Scott Taylor is working on a new feature or a future Destiny project beyond the annual pass content. So a lot of big news
Ooh.
coming out of that thing.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm really excited for private Gambit matches.
Yes.
Oh, heck
I
yeah.
want-
That's important for this game.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Important for this game.
Gambit leagues are going
Especially
to be
for-
everywhere.
Yeah, I mean Goth already like pretty much started one, right?
Yeah, but it's like
Yeah.
PC only.
And it doesn't.
Yeah.
That's the only problem.
We tried doing it the way he wanted to do it, and we could not match together on EU servers. So
Mhm.
if you have like people within the same clan trying to like queue the cheater way on EU servers,
Mhm.
it doesn't work. I don't know. My brother lives 20 minutes away from me, so we should have been able to match up in the European servers, but we were not able to. We tried for like 40 minutes. So
Mhm.
private Gambit is going to be great.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm really excited that he's working on a project outside of the annual passes for Destiny, because like hands down, in my opinion, this is one of the best expansions for Destiny that we've had, and to see anything that they've got coming up, I'm stoked for.
I've been hearing a lot of the best place Destiny has ever been. Period. Year one or Destiny 1 or 2. So.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
So, the Masterwork thing is the biggest firestorm for right now.
Yeah.
On the Twitterverse, there's a whole lot of back and forth about it's a good thing, it's a bad thing. I don't play enough to have Masterwork cores. I played for 2 hours and I have 20 billion Masterwork cores. And the argument is that your infusion is supposed to be a decision that you make, and that you shouldn't be infusing every step you get. If your kinetic weapon is 545 and you get a 546 weapon, you should not be infusing it from 545 to 546 because that's stupid. And so I deleted basically my entire vault today. Like almost everything that was in my vault, which was over 300 pieces, I got rid of almost everything today. And I walked away with like 4 cores out of all of it. So while I get what a lot of people are saying, the fact that there's just not a way to sustainably earn them without buying them from the guy who's going to come back and kill all of us in the future, because we're literally giving him all of our money and all of our materials. There's no way he's not going to come back and annihilate us. So there's got to be a better way for the Masterwork cores thing. And by the way, I know exactly how many Masterwork cores everybody in our community has right now because they posted it on Twitter this week. I could not escape it. It's worse than raid spoilers. This fucking Masterwork cores discussion.
Yeah.
It's everywhere. And I get it. I get where everybody is coming from.
Yeah.
But the change is needed.
I don't see a problem with it though. I don't see a problem with it at all. But I had this whole thing on Twitter, and mind you, this is completely my opinion. So if people want to be mad at me, they can come to my Twitter and bitch me out. I don't care. But I don't see a problem with the Masterworks core thing, because right now a lot of people are sitting at either between 500 to 540. If you're infusing every little thing, then that's your fault. If you're sitting there not giving Spider all these legendary shards, which you can buy 3 to 4 at a reasonable price for legendary shards every day, because it resets every 24 hours.
Do not give this man more money. He's gonna kill us.
I love him.
Stop funding him.
We're also giving him ghost
army.
shells.
I would gladly join his army, but that's besides the point.
Cold.
So I don't see the problem with the Masterwork core thing, because if you're infusing every single little thing, then yes, you're going to run out. You shouldn't honestly start infusing until you hit 560 or above, because that's when you're really going to start grinding everything out. Now, if you're not going to Spider, if you don't have a backlog of things in the vault, if you actually went on a hiatus from the game because you got bored for 3 to 4 months, then I'm just going to say it. That's your problem. I sat here and grinded it out every single day to make sure I had enough stuff sitting there for when first second drop. I had the legendary shards. I have the Masterwork cores. Now, granted, I do run out here and there and I go see Spider. But the thing is, though, you shouldn't be infusing every single little thing. And if you're honestly running out of Masterwork cores that much, because you are, then you need to reevaluate what you're doing with your gear. You can go in and delete your past stuff. Like I deleted all my future war cult stuff that I had every single ornament on because I don't need it. It doesn't have the random armor rolls on it. You don't need it. So if they want to put in bounties for 2 to 3 cores a week, that's fine. But the whole thing of taking it out, it's not going to be a grind anymore. I saw some person from Kotaku saying, well, I work a full-time job and I just can't do this. For one, you're writing an article on it, so literally this is your job. And two, you're saying you're a working person. 90% of us are. We're not all YouTubers and streamers, and we're all going to run out of stuff, but that's the grind. It's an MMO. It's going to be a freaking grind. And two, it's a game. If you're getting ticked off that you don't have enough of something, then go play. If you don't like that you have to play for something in an MMO, then don't play. Log off. Leave the rest of us alone.
I think if they dropped in the wild more, it wouldn't be as bad. But I'm not even kidding you. I deleted around 90 items out of my vault today because I just vaulted everything. I vaulted every drop I got. Didn't care what the roll was. I was like, I'll look at it later. I'll assess whether it's good or not for my player later. I deleted 90 pieces and I walked away with under 10, easily under 10 masterwork cores. So I agree, but at the same token, the drop rate, it's negligible to 0. It's just not present. So I get it, but some kind of adjustment, if they're not going to make it so that it costs less cores to infuse, give us some form of a way to fucking get them other than paying the guy who's going to come back and kill us. And mark my words, he's going to be in an expansion as a badass, really bad dude.
And again, I enjoy them. I like Spider. But that's me.
There is a consumable that you can pop on that is only active until you get a masterwork core. But that could be like, it drops from
a masterwork core, just one.
Yeah,
though.
a masterwork core, which
Precious.
like,
It's not precious.
yeah, it feels like maybe that should be kind of like the glimmer thing that drops.
Yeah.
The glimmer consumable.
How I
where
see
you can
it
pop
is
that and get it to drop for 4 hours or something like that.
you should only really be infusing once per slot for whatever your loadout is going to be. And hey, guess what, everybody listening? Destiny's like the only game where you can infuse and take your gear and make it more powerful. Every other RPG, you just have to get new shit if you want stronger stuff. So, like, I do think they could, because we're used to it. Here's the problem. They've entitled us to infusion. They have made us entitled brats when it comes to infusion, and so we're used to it. So I think a small change is needed to kind of meet us in the middle, but like just the fact that we have infusion is kind of incredible at all.
So do you think we should get rid of it?
No, I think it's definitely a very Destiny thing. I just like, if it's tough to compare Destiny to other RPGs because it is so unique. You know, it's a smorgasbord of different genres and game styles, and it's just everybody's in like new waters. They have no idea what exactly. All we have is 4 years history, where every other game has, 20 years of history.
So you get a fighting lion, all right, and it's 150, and you can't get the only way you can use your fighting lion in the future is if you earn another one. You're not going to be okay with that. You want to bring your fighting lion with you? Is that what you're telling me?
What I'm saying is I am okay with the fact that it is expensive to bring my favorite gun up to power.
Yeah.
Because I know, like, there's 2-3 guns that I love enough that I'm like, okay, I'm going to dedicate these super, super rare materials to bring them up for me. I think it creates that like, this is my favorite thing kind of element, as opposed to like, everything is my favorite. I can bring whatever I want with me. It really makes you choose the guns that you really, really like, or the armor that you really, really like. And I think that's cool. It helps you identify with certain pieces of gear, and that's something that makes RPGs interesting. But
I feel like there's a good middle ground, though.
They definitely need to make an adjustment, I think. Like I said, I would say the amount of masterwork cores is okay. We just need to be able to get like 4 or 5 a week consistently without having to drop. If you buy 5 cores from Spider, it's like, what, 200 shards? You're gonna run out real quick.
Because that's what, one infusion. If you're guaranteed 4 or 5, that's like 1 infusion a week, right?
Yeah.
And you carry what, 3 weapons and 4 armor pieces?
Yeah.
So,
well, so what I'm thinking, what I've thought from like the start of this whole discussion, and kind of seeing where the masterworks are right now, is like, it makes sense to have masterwork cores on like exotic items. Like if you're infusing exotic items, and say like legendary items that are masterworked past 5, or like up to 5. You know what I mean? So like 5 and after, you have to use masterwork cores in order to infuse them.
Yeah.
But 1 through 5 should kind of be like a gimme with the legendary. It kind of caters to the casual class, as well as those who have ground out and are using the masterwork cores to their full, or for their potential.
No, I don't like it.
You don't like that? All right.
No.
See, wow. You just brought up something interesting too, though, Dan. Everyone's talking about the lack of masterwork cores for Infusion. What about when everyone's at power and then they want to start masterworking their stuff? Doesn't it take like 17 masterwork cores to fully masterwork an item? And we're complaining
like
right
that.
now about
That's
Infusion
gonna make me
being...
throw up right here. Right I'm just gonna vomit. Like if that's the case, I don't even know if I have 17 on PC. Like I didn't play
Nope.
PC because I didn't have a graphics card that could run it.
Yeah.
So for the the entirety of Destiny 2 Year 1, I didn't really play on PC. I'm sure I'm rich on PlayStation 4. I haven't even turned it on yet, but I'm sure I'd
Right.
be fine there. But like 17, like dude, no.
Yeah, I deleted all my masterworks from year 1 and came out with like 24 cores so on PC because I didn't
That
start
many?
PC
Wow.
until Warmind. 24. Like I know Life PC.
Bitcoin.
Yeah, just since Warmind. Like I didn't start until Warmind, so like I'm with you on that, my dude. Like it's gonna be. I go to Spider every day. I log in. I'm like, I'm gonna buy 3 cores because I only have
$70,000, my beach house, and my hot rod. I'll
Yeah.
take a masterwork core, please, sir.
Yeah.
Like a core addict going over to Spider, like, hey, I need my cores, man.
Right.
Like-
Every single day.
Oh man. So we've been having such a good time in this conversation. We haven't even gotten to the TWAB yet.
Oh god.
Oh,
Yeah.
geez.
So luckily this week was kind of light, I would say.
For
For
as
most-
TWABs go, yeah, half of
As
it
far-
was like congrats redeem. So
Congrats, Redeem. I think one of the biggest things to come out of this, they talk about Breakthrough, which is the
Yes.
new Crucible mode
mhm.
that is going to be starting on Tuesday, September 25th. I'll read it here. The
That's
new
2
Crucible
days from
game
now.
mode, Breakthrough, will become available to all players of Destiny 2. There will also be new maps that were crafted to complement this game type. Quick overview of how Breakthrough works. At the beginning of each round, players will fight to capture a central zone. Once the zone is captured, your team will deploy a breaker. As players work to deploy the breaker, the zone can be contested, resulting in an epic tug of war between 2 teams. Once the breaker is captured, it will be used to assault and hack the enemy team's vault. If you hack the enemy team's vault, you win the round. If you fail to hack the enemy team's vault within the round time limit, you lose. If you are in the process of hacking the enemy team's vault, when time runs out, you will enter sudden death until you either hack the vault or the enemy removes all your progress. First team to win 3 rounds takes the match.
So do you
It's-
think this is going to be another game mode with like 30 to 40-minute games?
Yes.
Oh, definitely,
Honestly.
because it's the payload from Overwatch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it sounded like
Exactly what it
exactly
is.
to me.
Yep.
Sounds amazing.
It
That's a
sounds
long
fun.
time.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a long time to dedicate to certain. Like think about dedicating a half hour to per game and like losing. Talk about a
Mhm.
time investment. So I'd like to know what the ranking system, what the rewards are going to be, or is this other than fun, because we're
Yeah.
playing a looter shooter? Are the rewards behind it going to be enough to really pull people into it?
I'm gonna
Gambit has what, its
say-
own weapons?
Here's-
Gambit has its own weapons, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Is that where the trust comes from? Is that where the trust?
No,
Yes.
no. Yeah, that's where trust comes from. Yes.
No or yes?
Yes,
Yes.
trust
Yeah.
comes from
Okay.
Gambit.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm all over the place.
Breakthrough is a competitive playlist mode,
Yeah. So it'll go towards your glory rank.
Ooh,
but
Yeah.
we're gonna get
I
it
do
for
fancy glory.
1 week as the weekly featured playlist. You know, the one no one goes to, like Supremacy and Doubles.
I mean, I go to doubles,
Yeah.
but that's just me.
I do too. I love Doubles.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so sorry. So starting on it'll be in the weekly featured playlist start on September 25th. Then it will be added to the competitive list starting October 2nd. Owners of Destiny 2 Forsaken may begin to play Breakthrough in private matches on the 25th as well.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yes, they are adding several maps. So there's one called Equinox. It looks like it takes place in the same like Trials realm. Firebase Echo, Citadel, Convergence, which is the Pantheon map, and PS4 players will also have access to the map Gambler's Run, which takes place on the Tangled Shore. It looks kind of neat. Kind of looks like the landing zone that you come in on.
Nice. I look forward to
Nice.
seeing that
Mm.
next year.
Firebase Echo is definitely on IO, dude. Look at all the red. 100% on
Absolutely.
IO.
Yeah.
Yep.
And no
Look at
Nessus.
Planet. No, that's IO, dude.
That's totally IO. IO, bro. Look- I'm not even gonna say what I was.
It's actually Nessus. For everybody listening, it's 100% Nessus. I'm just being
100% Nessus.
Yeah, 100%.
100% Nessus. Going forward, they also have going on this week. This weekend we have a Gambit free trial. Started on the 21st of September and rolls until
Today.
rolled until today.
Yep.
Sorry.
So if you're listening to this later, it's over.
So sorry.
Sorry about it.
But the Double Valor weekend
And it's
in
today.
Crucible. No, that goes through the 10 a.m. PDT on September 25th.
Oh,
So
okay.
you still have time to
So
jump into
reset, I
Iron
guess,
Banner.
yeah.
So it goes to reset.
Yeah,
So if you're
yeah.
listening to
Goes
this,
reset.
you have like the rest of the day.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Get it
Yeah.
in there.
Get it in there. Outside of that, we have hot fixes. Some notable hot fixes offering to the Oracle have been moved to the Pursuits inventory, no longer erroneously removed when the player fast travels. Activity reconnection has been disabled in Gambit playlist to allow for faster backfilling of lopsided teams. Ace of Spades quest no longer requires defeating enemy invaders in Gambit, but can now instead be completed by defeating either combatants or enemy invaders with hand cannons in Gambit matches. Thank you, Bungie.
I'm upset
Fixed an
about this
issue-
a little bit.
Why?
Because I still don't
Why?
I haven't finished my Ace of Spades. I'm on the go to the Cade stashes part. But I did my Invader hand cannon kill. So Dan has his Ace of Spades because they made it easier. And
Put an asterisk next to
So-
my name.
So, Serotonin in chat brought up a good point, though. If you really haven't had the time to dedicate to power leveling your character,
Mhm.
the power level difference is present in Gambit. You know, it does
Mhm.
matter when it's player versus player in Gambit. So that
Yeah.
does kind of make it so that a hand cannon's not going to 3 or 4
Right.
tap. It might take a few more shots to get in. And when they have an overshield
Oh,
on
that's
top of
rough.
that, so it's
Yeah.
it's pretty brutal. I got that part done like the first day. It was
Yeah.
out because everybody was about the same power level, and for whatever reason, everyone and their mother was trying to do it. No one understood it, so people were invading with a hand cannon versus invading with their super.
Yep.
So it became a hand cannon fight off. So I got it done relatively easily the first day or two that it was out. But I get where some of the other community members are coming from with this change, where now I don't have to worry about being 5'10" against Billy Surprise, who's been playing 20 hours a day and is
Yeah.
590, who's one-shotting me. So I get how they made it easier. They did, but I also understand the other side of the argument very
Oh,
well. I
Yeah.
agree with it. I'm okay with it.
I don't
I don't think they should
actually
have made the
mind.
change.
I just wanted to
They-
troll Dan.
I don't think they should have made the change at all because I know quite a few people who did the quest and got those invader kills. Now, granted, power levels are becoming a lot more prevalent, but my
Mhm.
thing is, we're still within the first month of Forsaken. Now, granted, everybody wants a new exotic. It's the thing to have.
Right.
But it's not going to change your gameplay if you don't have it. It's going to be a grind to get it. So this whole change to cheapen this exotic quest is just asinine to me because one, it's just a weapon. Granted, it's the Ace of Spades, but it's still just a weapon. It's not
Mhm.
like Touch of Malice going into the raid. And
Mhm.
for people that did the work, it's just a slap in the face to them who actually did do it and who aren't good with hand cannons like I am. I still haven't even tried it yet, but now I
Yeah.
don't even want to go for it now because I can just get regular kills. So this whole thing of nerfing the quest into the ground because somebody can't make a play, it's a
There's-
grind. It's supposed to be a grind. It's a
There's-
quest. Again,
There's
it's a
not being
grind.
able to make a play, and
Yeah.
there's this. And when somebody invades with a hammer titan in their super, and all you've got is a hand cannon to get this done,
Yep.
you're not going to win unless they're
Yeah.
literally the worst hammer titan on the
The thing
planet.
is, though,
Yeah.
you might not get the kill that game, but you're gonna play the next game and the next game. Again,
Yeah.
it's supposed to be a grind. It's supposed to be a challenge.
Right.
This is the Ace of Spades from Cade. He named it after his son. It's the gun to have. We're the guardian to have it. So it should be a difficult thing to have. Now we're gonna see everybody
See-
walking around with it like it's a dime store pharmacy toy. It's ridiculous.
Well,
I
here's the
disagree.
thing.
It's also the
So-
flagship exotic of the game, and you're going to
Yes.
want the majority of your player base to have that in their hands. Like that's
This-
the one gun
exactly.
people should have. It should
Mhm.
be the Ace of Spades. Like, if not for some of these other ones, obviously the exotic drop rate is pretty non-existent
Yeah.
right now. But you want the community to have that gun in their hands. Like, that is the flagship weapon.
Chaperone Quest's easier still though.
When I was
I got them
playing,
both on day one.
Yeah.
It wasn't hard.
yeah, when I was playing, so when I'd play Gambit, I got super competitive. It's the only time that I ever get like super sweaty, and I wasn't really worried about
You were playing to win.
getting the hand. Yeah, I was playing to win. I wasn't playing to get hand cannon kills. And now maybe that's definitely on me. I'll take that.
Mm-hmm.
But like I feel like this change is a positive because I feel like the story implications with it, because the final mission, I don't know if anybody here hasn't done it, but you can do you kill in Gambit, kill enemies in Gambit. You get more for killing invaders, more stats for killing invaders.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't do that retroactively. There was a Risen Phoenix actually had killed 3 invaders prior to this change and got 3% towards his So that was kind of a bummer. But there's you do that, then you have to go do hand cannon kills and strikes. You then have to get 25 hand cannon kills in Crucible, which I feel is just as difficult.
That is a pretty tough
That was
spot.
harder than initially. That was actually harder than the 5 invader kills. I think going back to it, the phrasing was so strange that people thought they had to invade with hand cannons and get kills. So you ended up in a lot of hand cannon versus hand cannon.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until people figured out they could invade whatever they wanted that it really started to become even more despair. And I think Bungie's seen like the drop rate significantly decrease. Like, all right, well, maybe this isn't the best way to go about it.
Which
so.
I think that's how they should have changed it. I think they swung too far the other way. If they had made it just get Guardian kills in Gambit with a hand cannon, that would have been fine. That would have been the sweet spot, I think.
That seems fine. That seems fine to me. Like, and sounds fair. But like, I want, going back to Aura's point, this is the flagship drop, and like, the last mission, if just go through and do it, you have to go and collect caches. Spoiler alert. But each one has a different person that he's dedicating it to, right? And so you learn a little bit more about the lore through that. And at the end, yes, you get Ace of Spades. It is an excellent gun in PvP, but like, you still had to go through and do stuff for it. I loaded up into Rumble, which is not a playlist that I normally get or go into. I went in there with the trust that I got from Gambit, and it took me about 3 matches, and I got the 25 kills, to do it. But I still feel like it was a good challenge to me personally.
I've been using hand cannon since Destiny 1, and I just ran 2. I just ran dual. If I'm like, any weapon I used was going to be a hand cannon, no heavy, no power. I just used 2 hand cannons the entire time. I got it done in a handful of matches or so. But I don't know. Yeah. I don't think this changes catering very much, given the fact that the difference in power level in that one instance, plus the overshield, plus the fact that people usually invade with supers or power ammo or snipers keeping it at range, like, you'd have to have a pretty dopey invader for you to get a hand cannon kill. Honestly, you have to have the scrub of the team go over. And
you'd
most
have to
of the
have
time,
me.
Well, most of the time when I'm playing with my Last Rites clan, which is just a bunch of absolute savages. Like, nobody's gonna kill some of my teammates with a hand cannon. Just there's no chance. So like, I don't think this is a bad change.
Yeah. Moving forward, so they talked about Tincture of Queensfoil. Synth buff provided by the Tincture of Queensfoil is removed after players return to orbit or launch a new activity. If players return to orbit or launch into another activity, they must consume another Tincture of Queensfoil to reactivate the Ascendant buff. So stock up on those. You can actually purchase
max
those.
Max of 5, right?
Yeah, it's max.
Yeah, max of 5. Yeah, they're pretty expensive too with the Barian bows. It's like 50 Barian bows.
I think you can buy them for the dark whatever they are too. Can you not? And does
I think so.
There's those 2 hidden dudes all the way down in the area you probably shouldn't go in if you're underleveled. There's those 2 Ahamkara skulls you can trade with.
Yeah, it's 50 bows or whatever, branches, purple branches. I'm just gonna call them that.
Purple stuff,
yeah. It's the one skull asks for it, and I think it switches to the other one the next week after that. just to change the currency because I haven't seen the second skull pop yet. But when you go down there, it's 50, and I think I bought like 5, and then used Dim to transfer them over and pop 5 more. So
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
but yeah,
Um,
it's pretty expensive.
yeah. Edge Transit, they've seen your memes.
I doubt it.
Oh God.
And it, yeah, and
I
it
don't
is.
believe it.
You're right. It's bugged.
Yeah. Our investigation has confirmed this weapon is dropping more frequently than intended, pursuing a fix for a future update.
Wasn't like aggressive drop rates or something like. I can't imagine Engram like shaking violently, going, "It's gonna be an Edge Transit," and then aggressively popping open. That just gets me to me.
Oh my god. I managed to put 8 of them into my vault before I realized that there was like too many of those coming at me. So
Yeah. Outside of that, they talk about underlevel power gear drops. They've identified an issue causing powerful gear to sometimes drop below expected power levels, and they're working to resolve the issue in a future update. Menu load times are longer than usual, so they're investigating that with their menus and UI on consoles. The cataloger emblem, which is the one that pisses me off because it keeps showing up. They're investigating an issue where the emblem always returns to the postmaster if stored or deleted or whatever. It's yeah.
That's weird.
oh my
Oh,
gosh.
it is. I thought I was going nuts.
It sounds like a Goosebumps book.
Yeah. We are investigating weapon perks in Rift or Well of Radiance, investigating an issue where some weapon perks may not activate while players are staying in a healing Rift or Well of Radiance. And Nova Warp, we are investigating an issue where Nova Warp Super may not actually fully activate when used. Later on in the week, they issued another hotfix about a lot of things popping up, like your scout rifle not
Oh
doing
my
as
God,
much
dude.
damage as it should.
I made the mistake of bringing an ARC scout rifle in during a 100K run.
Yeah.
Match game on, so it was the only way for us to take down ARC shields. And I can't even tell. It's a scout rifle, so I'm at range, and I might have been doing 100 damage to these knights with the matching. They're so bad. They're so incredibly bad right now, and I don't know.
Yeah.
Like a hand cannon will do more from where I was than the scout rifle. The damage drop off, like it's not. There's no damage
Yeah.
to even have a drop off. Like what is it doing?
Yeah.
Pillows and hugs, dude. It's a joke.
Crazy.
I think Nova Warp was actually bugged from the start because if you guys remember the horrible weekend of when Mayhem came out and people figured out how to bug the Nova Bomb to just repeatedly do it down a corridor. I don't know if you guys
Mhm.
remember that or not. It was worse on PC. But
The,
I think
infinite Nova Bomb instead of
Yeah.
your grenade glitch.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think the patch that they have for that is actually affecting the Nova Warp because it's the same type of damage in the coding, just in an AoE instead of a trap. Bixby, I'm not talking to you. My friend started talking to me. I'm sorry. But I think
need
the
a clip of
patch. I think the patch that they put in for that whole cheese with the Nova Bomb is actually affecting the Nova Warp and more prominently on PC because that's where the issue was prominently because of the server recognizing, okay, there's this much void damage going out from this warlock this many times. So it's actually, I think the patch is actually interfering with that new super, but that's just my wild guess.
Mhm.
But it's
I
just
don't
so
warlock, so this isn't my problem.
well, yeah. Warlocks
Yes.
are gross.
They're floofy jumps, dude. They're too floofy.
I'm
They're just
so
they're
glad.
too floofy.
Oh my god.
Wait,
I'm
is
so
there-
glad I have
there's
people
no
here that
warlocks
agree
right
with
now.
me.
On
There's
Planet
no
Destiny,
warlocks
there's
here.
no warlocks.
I think we're alone now.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. I think we're
What are we all?
alone
We don't.
now.
None of us play warlock.
No,
No,
I only have a
I
I
don't
don't
Titan.
think so.
It's
So-
a hunter.
TBL, Nim, and Moon are all the warlocks.
And
So-
Molly.
Oh my god, I have a great joke about warlocks too.
You're constantly putting them on Twitter. You're always
I know,
putting
I love
warlock
it.
jokes on Twitter.
So I'm just gonna do it really quick. But you know why warlocks had self-res in D1, right?
Why?
Not even their ghosts thought they were worth resurrecting. And the reason they don't have in D2 is because even the Traveler is trying to kill them off. That's why they didn't get it back.
Oh my god.
We're gonna get some
So
comments
good.
on that.
Oh man.
I can tell.
Listen, for clarification purposes, I made a warlock for like the entire first year of Destiny.
Yeah, Warlock was actually my first character. Hunter was my third.
Back when you could actually skate with them and they had decent maneuverability. The maneuverability right now on the character is just, I don't know how people do it very well. I can't personally.
Yeah,
No.
not about the whole glitter fart thing. Not my style. That's what it looks like.
Oh my god. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. Wonderful. Folks in chat, get your questions ready. We're going to start collecting them here soon. Xanafan will be the guy to tag. We have a couple more things here on the agenda that I posted up. We have that Maleficence.
Malfeasance?
Oh my god, I'm saying it wrong. I said it right once, and that was when I was like, oh, it's malfeasance, and now I'm a butt. Okay, so Destiny 2 players have found Callum's Grave, the key to the malfeasance quest. I'm gonna post that link right here.
But I thought that was like a step in the quest, and they hadn't figured out how to start it yet. They just found one of the
Starts
steps.
with the grave, and then it goes to the next step. There's been a lot of what is it, Reddit, like the Destiny secrets Reddit's been going crazy with it. Same thing with that in the wishes. They've been going nuts with that.
So you should be able to find that in the new Dreaming City strike. I believe that's called Corrupted. Yes.
That's the one with the Techion. She goes all crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like Pantheon. It doesn't exist to me because I haven't seen it yet.
Aww.
I'm not gonna pick a strike out of the blue for no reason. There's nothing. I've got stuff to do. I've got
part of the
powers
story.
I have power to gain here.
But it's a beautiful strike. It's probably my favorite strike out of all the strikes in
Is
existence.
it
Destiny.
in
It's
rotation
beautiful.
for normal strikes? Because I
Yes,
do
it
play
is.
a lot of. Okay,
It
well
is.
then where the fuck is it?
Oh my god.
I played it earlier today. I played it.
I keep loading into that fucking fallen guy who disappears and comes back 40 times in a row. I'll get that strike. The one everyone leaves.
Oh
The
my
one
God.
nobody wants to play.
I like
Yeah,
that
that
strike.
one?
We'll do that.
You would.
Yeah, I would. Tether. Hello. It's easy. Just saying. But you really should just pull up Corrupted and just do it right off of the map because it is the most amazing strike. Like, it is really cool. Especially the lore that goes behind it. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and the fact that you're going through the Dreaming City and then directly into the Ascendant Realm, like, seamlessly. It is.
What do you mean seamlessly? Like you're just instantly there?
Yeah, like it flops for you. Like you're
there's-
standing inside of the inside of it like a cathedral, and then it flips the Ascendant Realm.
Don't spoil it for me. I want to see this myself in 20 years. When it's actually in rotation. When Destiny 3 comes out, I want to be able to say that I saw this.
Your kids and your dog will both be through college at that point.
It'll be like Xbox users getting Hawk Moon 3 months into Destiny 2.
Oh god.
Oh man. But also at the time of this recording, it seems that we have 3 people at the time of this recording, if I remember correctly, writing their names down, that have reached 600 power level already.
Do they sleep? Are they human?
Nope. They do not sleep. They are not human.
All right.
RNG plays a good part in it.
Mm-hmm.
3 characters plays a big part in it.
Yeah. And like, look, I went back. So I found this metric through Destiny Tracker. And yeah, most of them have characters that like, they're all stacking them up. So they're just grinding up one, grinding up the next, grinding up the third, and then starting that cycle all over again. That like one guy, I can't remember which one of the 3 it was, but he had all of them in the 590s. But so congratulations to Minimal Cloth on PlayStation side, Son of Osiris, and Greg the Dreg on PC.
Where you at, Xbox people? Where you at?
They're nowhere near those PlayStation exclusives. It turns out being 600 Lite is a PlayStation exclusive.
2 of them are PC.
Never mind. I'm dumb.
I was going to say it's because there's not as many Xbox players, but there's even less PC players. So
yeah. My thing is, though, with these 3 people, if they start complaining that there's nothing to do in 2 weeks, I'm going to lose my mind. I'm just going to lose it. Because they've already grinded up to that high level. And if they turn around and say, oh, there's nothing to do in the game.
I don't see how they're going to say that, honestly, because like at 600 is when you can start paying attention to your mods and your rolls on your armor
Yeah,
and
that's
your
true.
like. I can't wait to start min maxing, but for now, that's not a thing.
Yeah, the struggle is real. The struggle is definitely real.
I wouldn't know. I just get jade rabbits.
Oh gosh. I don't know. I'm sitting on 3 nice exotics, so it's pretty nice.
I've
So I
gotten
got,
one, and it was Mask of the Eternal Warrior.
You did?
Yeah.
Because somebody in
Really?
chat asked that.
No,
asked if you'd
Mask
gotten
of
it.
the Eternal Warrior.
Oh,
Is that the
never
Titan
mind.
one?
That's
Is that the Titan
Yes.
stone-faced one, the statue one?
Yes, and it's hot garbage.
You talking about? It's actually hot garbage?
Yeah,
You
exactly.
took its temperature and everything with
That's real
thermometer.
bad.
Better than a fighting lion.
Nothing is better than fighting lion. I love fighting lions so much. I'm probably gonna be
I don't
getting
even
a
know how you
fighting
live with
lion
yourself.
tattoo.
I don't know how you live with yourself.
It's hard to use. Have you tried it? It's not easy, but when you get good with
Himself.
it,
Hard to use
No,
it.
there's
It's
definitely some
fantastic.
skill with it.
it's fantastic. It's just a different gun, you know.
Yeah.
I don't
No, I,
know.
Notice how
on this
everybody got
fighting
real
lion.
quiet. Like,
Oh my
Now I'm
gosh.
sitting on a wave splitter, which again, Mel's, and I love it. And I got Trinity Ghoul from Banshee of all people. I just fed him parts because I was bored.
Is that what
Yeah.
we should do with them? Because I have like 2,000. What do I
Yeah,
do with them?
just feed him the Banshee because he can drop exotics, which is exactly where I got my Trinity Ghoul from. I think he dropped to like 520, and I was only 500. So he does drop exotics.
I've been getting like one a week just to get a little taste here and there, but I'm waiting on my gunsmith materials till I'm closer to 600, so I have higher power chances. At least maybe it'll just be infusion fodder, but it'll be higher power to infuse into.
Yeah, it's true.
So
I don't know.
we'll
I think
see.
I'm sitting at like 6,000 materials still, so I just keep feeding the Banshee.
I only had 1,000 because PC.
Yeah, I
Oh
still
my
had
God.
1,000 too, and I only started PC like right around Warmind.
Yeah.
I still had 1,000.
Mhm.
Mhm. Yeah, I got my
So-
PC in like May, June, somewhere in there. Yeah.
All right. Well, so, folks, the time has come for questions. Xanafan, what are the questions on the block, good sir?
All right. Well, people in chat, you're not doing your job. So we only have 2 right now. Please ask us more questions while we're answering these questions. The first one, though, comes from Subcult, my dude. And he wants to know, if you could have any wish for the raid wish wall, what would be your wish? What are you asking of Riven?
I know exactly what I would ask.
You gonna tell
Go
us,
for
or
it.
is it
Yeah,
like not safe
are
to
you just gonna
share?
leave it there?
I wish I could stop working for the Vanguard and just be a free agent.
Ooh.
I wish I could never ever work for Zavala and Ikora ever again. But I can't because we're stuck in the story.
Oh man,
Yeah,
remind
you
me
can't hop
never
on
to.
an ATV out of that one.
Yeah, no, just go on my Sparrow, fly off to see, Drifter or Spider or somebody, get a few contracts, never go back to the tower ever again because I don't use my vault. The only time I used it was to power up for Forsaken. But yeah, no, if I could stop working for them, that'd be great. But that's never gonna happen.
All right, I know my wish.
Okay. Go
I
for
wish
it.
my guardian could go to the bathroom and take a fucking shower because it's been 4 years. Okay, I have not. My guardian has not used the restroom in 4 years. Okay, it's time, Bungie. Can we get a bathroom in the tower?
In the
Alright.
shower. Ooh,
Ooh.
Shaq's in the shower. That'd be nice.
Well, I mean, according to certain lore tabs that we got earlier,
Oh yes, those were
Yep.
very nice.
those are Monka TOS when it comes to chat. So,
Oh man, my wish would be for Twilight Garrison to be in the loot pool again.
see, I
I feel like it's only a matter of time
Oh
Yeah.
until
It-
all
it
of it
needs to be.
surfaces.
The mechanics in the
Yeah.
game, Warlocks have it.
But what? Yeah, but warlocks have it, but it's like so weird, right? It's not like
Like-
the way it used to. I mean,
No one uses that tree, and like it's a Dawnblade tree that no one really uses. It's the one that doesn't have Phoenix Dive, so you don't get your health back with it. but you can dodge to the side instead of straight down. But if it were on a Titan, that's how you trick Cole into thinking that you're shoulder charging and you're not,
Yeah,
or trick her into
that's a
thinking
really
that you're not and then you do. Is
that's
with
really dirty.
with Twilight Garrison right there.
I was a big fan. That was like my main armor piece for Titans for sure. Unless I wanted to be the worst human in the world and use 2 lightning grenades. That was
I did
also
that a
big.
lot. I was as well.
Of course.
If
He
I
threw his
wa-
nade. He doesn't have another one. Let me walk over here.
If I wasn't running, Dune Marchers, it was grenade tits with 2 lightning
Oh
bolts.
I think mine would be to bring Blink to its rightful place on the hunter skill tree.
Oh my God, yes. Please,
just-
oh God.
Yeah. That new hunter the new Void Hunter super is just begging for Blink.
You guys are
It's
all
all different ones.
sophisticated with your picks. And I'm like, I just want to pee.
I mean, I want a P2.
No, I'm good.
Must
I'm an
be wish,
XO. I don't
man.
need to.
Well, here's the thing.
Oh,
I believe Focus Fire chat calls you like a space lich. So I mean, you don't really need to use the restroom. Maybe you transmat your poo.
Oh, my guardian's a human. He definitely has to use the bathroom.
I play an XO, so I don't have to worry about eating or drinking.
You
Or
don't know
any of
that. It could be
I just have
mechanical food.
I just have to worry about keeping my sex drive, which Bray obviously said we had. I had to keep that sated, which is a
Mm.
very tall order, by the way. Just saying.
Can't get a virus in your sex drive.
No.
Oh my god.
Was that the direct quote?
Yeah.
Might as well be at this point.
Oh man. All right, the next question. I guess it's for me and Aura. Have you gotten your one-eyed mask yet? And if you have, do you think it's ugly? And how much fun do you have with it?
Is this a penis joke?
No,
Yes.
The hell's a one-eyed mask?
it's a Titan exotic helm.
And it's completely OP, but so few people have
Is it actually called the?
The one-eyed mask.
Yeah.
Stop it.
I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. I don't have it yet, but I want it really bad. Because if a guardian damages you, they get marked until you kill them. And then when you do kill them, you get an overshield and increased damage.
It's like Keen Scout, but like
Yeah, for
It's
a
like
Titan.
Foe Tracer, but
yeah,
better.
for a Titan.
No, I got the Peacekeepers for my Titan. They're super great. I don't know what they do, but they're awesome.
Throw
So
on
great.
an Antiope and another SMG. Mob Justice is what I used to use, and you run fast. It's like quick draw and massive handling while you're using SMGs, and then
How does somebody who uses the Fighting Lion so much know about that?
because
I know,
I used to run Peacekeeper's double SMG, which is just as dirty. Trust me, because it also reloads the SMG that you don't have out at the time, so you don't have to reload.
Oh, like
You just have to
constant
switch to your
bullets.
other SMG. Yeah, as long as you're moving,
man.
God.
you just switch
Just
to
my
the other
Black Titan's
SMG.
gonna be dirtier.
Yeah,
Jesus.
Peacekeepers are fun. Don't have to
Alright.
reload.
That's my only exotic. My
Yeah.
Titan.
But- So yeah, when I get one-eyed mask, it's going to be a lot of fun as long as it can get me to take off synthesips.
So when you take damage, they're marked, and you can
Yeah.
wall hack them. You can see them through walls and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
I
yeah.
don't know if that
I
would
saw
do me any good. I
Fallout.
would just be seeing my demise coming towards me. Like that's just like that's not gonna help me at all. It's worse when I can tell that it's gonna have like no, just don't let it be a surprise.
Mm.
Oh, man. Rusty Shacklebro asks, best burrito?
Best burrito.
Al
Free roast.
Pastor burrito with pineapple. You heard it here first. Maybe second.
Yeah.
That's the best way to have an Al Pastor burritos with the pineapple. Trust me, it's not like pizza. It's good. Actually good.
I'm gonna say the ones that I make, of the breakfast variety.
Can't wait to
Yeah.
have one of those. Go to my local store and be like, I'll take a Xanafan burrito.
He lives close. He lives close enough to me where he could make a drive.
If you want one of my burritos, you're driving to me, Dan. All right.
We'll see.
But yes, they're very good.
Does Cole eat burritos?
I'm not a big fan of tacos and burritos. My husband loves them. Like, I'll make them.
Mhm.
I'm still not a big fan, but probably the best burrito I've ever had is from a place called Freebirds here in Austin.
Mhm.
And it is like they can make a monster burrito, which I'm not kidding, is like 14 inches long and like super thick.
That's
It's
a normal
ridiculous.
burrito where we come from.
Yeah,
Does
yeah.
it take 7 minutes to play the last end of it?
Yeah, it takes a while, but it's really good. Like they make their own queso and everything, and I love it. It's like the only actual burrito I like, but I love it.
Dan?
I like a carnitas burrito, from specifically from La Parada here in Indianapolis. That's been my go-to for years. We'd record records and stuff, and then we'd go to La Parada, and I would get that all the time.
All right, so what's in it?
You have so you have carnitas, you have guacamole, you have brown rice, you also have onions and jalapenos. The jalapenos are key in that one. It is wonderful. And
That sounds
if you
good.
get like the their cheese, their house table cheese on the side,
Table cheese?
yeah, man.
Table cheese?
It's better than Fremunda.
What's fermenta?
Oh no! No,
That's for another
no,
time.
Cole. No, don't do
For
it.
another
I don't
time.
wanna
Don't
know.
do it.
I don't wanna know. No.
Oh
No,
no. I've.
They're never gonna let me host again. It's fine.
Oh jeez.
No. Well, we'll talk in DMs.
See
You can
the
educate me there.
see the chat, Cole. See the chat. They're helping you out.
God. Oh no.
All right. So
I'm good.
right.
Moving on.
Baby Ryan I May, what do you think the last wish is? Don't we know?
No, they actually, I don't believe so. Let me double check here. I think there's several that have not been discovered.
I think they
And-
mean
Oh,
like the
I think
actual
the
last
actual
wish.
last
very
wish.
last
Like
wish.
the
Oh,
legit
okay.
last wish.
I thought it was the curse that Riven put out into the Dreaming City when her heart was ripped out by Redeem.
Well, we still don't know how that's gonna end up, right? We still
Right.
haven't played all the way through the story
Right.
yet.
We just know that she wanted us to cut her heart out,
Yeah,
and
but you'll get to it in 20 years. All right, it's fine.
That's not strike related. I've been doing the missions. I've been keeping up with my kill the 2 gigantic twinsy ogres, dude. I've got handled my business
Yeah.
when it comes to handling the ogres. We're good. I just haven't seen the strike in rotation because it's not in rotation at all.
Oh, it is too.
It's not in rotation, dude. It's not in rotation. I'm gonna keep getting Savathun for my 8 strikes in a week.
I'm okay with that strike.
It
Seventh
could be
is a
worse.
good
It could be
one.
that damn fallen guy
Oh
who
my
just
god,
keeps disappearing.
I'm
from
one of
my
those
server.
people that leaves when they get that
Oh, I
strike.
back out immediately.
Yep.
I don't mind it, but
I'd like to see the completions and compare it to Valst Arc when he was a bullet sponge and everybody
Mhm.
left because they just couldn't kill him.
Right. Or you had to hide behind those boxes.
I got in the
Take
ceiling,
Take
dude.
pot shots.
Listen, I went up top. I
Well,
went up in the chandelier. All right.
you're a rare breed, sir.
am
Yeah.
I the only one that
Really.
doesn't quit strikes? Like I just go in and just
No, I don't.
Only the
That's
Fallen
okay.
Vandal strike, the one that goes invisible. That's
No,
the
I
only
still
one.
don't
even
do
cut
that one.
It's not that bad.
Oh, it's
awful.
not.
It's
It's not.
awful, and you're awful. It's terrible.
It's
Stop it.
not the Vandal is not the reason I quit that strike. It's because I don't want to go through all those fucking Star Trek teleporters to get to him. All
On
right.
my sparrow made out
Yes.
of cardboard.
Exactly.
Hold on.
That's the annoying part.
Hold on. Like, are you like? Do you think like something's gonna happen to your guardian if you pass through it? Like,
No, it's just annoying.
No, I
secret
get
space
I get
rays?
shot. I get shot by by a toothpick, and my sparrow explodes. That's my
Oh,
problem.
yeah, that's true. Never mind. Yeah, that's true.
I still don't see an issue, but whatever. So that's just, I don't quit strikes. I just keep going.
All
Well,
right.
you're the hero we need.
Yeah.
You're the hero we deserve.
I will literally sit in a strike list and just grind it out with blueberries who don't know what the hell they're doing, just carry them for hours on end. But
There
Awesome.
you go.
I like doing that.
Alright.
All right.
We got-
Last question.
Yes. What's the best dog in Destiny history?
I mean, I think you're kidding yourself if you don't say Galahorn.
Yeah.
Well, for me personally, it's
Don't
not
say
fighting.
lion. I swear to God, I'll never talk to you again.
It's not. It's actually not fighting lion.
I would have to say Jade Rabbit.
Oh man. But for me,
And Mindo in chat says Icebreaker, and I'm kind of tempted to skew the other way on this and say Icebreaker because it's pretty awesome.
I'm saying
I don't know.
Syntheseps. It's Syntheseps for
Icebreaker
me.
wasn't
Wait,
all
are
over
we
LSD
going
where
by
you couldn't even play the
preference?
video- Did you just say Syntheseps?
Yes, they're so good. I never take them off. Syntheseps.
Who are you people? What?
I love them so
You just
much.
picked armor?
I picked armor. Hey, I can one punch people in the Crucible under certain circumstances, and it happens more frequently than you think.
I one punched Crota with the friggin' Galahorn. Like, what do you?
Everybody uses Galahorn. Like everyone knows it's good. This is I don't know. Syntheseps are good, and a lot
It's
of
the
people
best
don't know
kept
it.
secret in best kept secret.
This is
exotic,
my
man.
best exotic in Destiny history. Is
Mm.
Syntheseps. Yeah.
Mm.
If we had to go with the whole preference thing, I would say Mida Multi-Tool is my favorite from D1 because I
Yeah.
never took it off. I mean, I have a replica of that. I got a
Mm-hmm.
Galahorn. Like, I still loved Mida. But I think in D2, Orpheus Rig is still my favorite of all time because, again, I
Yeah.
don't switch off a Night Stalker. And it was fantastic even before they changed it. 'Cause-
Orpheus is pretty good.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
amazing. And luckily, I was, Petra gave me the Noop set too. So I'm actually sitting on 3 exotics. But, the whole change to Orpheus Rig it still makes it pretty powerful. Even, Gambit, the raids, everything. So that's the one I love.
I bet if
Yeah.
one of the warlocks were here, they would say Ophidians.
But they're not, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We're trash free this
So,
episode.
are you gonna roll you're gonna roll with Icebreaker, Dan?
I'm gonna roll with Icebreaker. I would use
Ooh.
that in almost every encounter in Vault of Glass. I loved that thing. It was one of my favorite weapons. Almost
thought it
never took
sounded
it off
cool.
after I got it
always thought
dropped.
it
Saying-
sounded really.
Icebreaker over Bones, or like, I mean,
Yeah, because I barely use bones.
oh.
What?
Barely use bones.
Bones was great. What
Well,
are you talking about?
That's just my opinion,
It's
man.
because Dan's not a hunter main. He's a Titan
Oh,
main.
this is true.
Oh my god, Danny. I can't say anything because you know where I live. Anyways. I believe that's all the questions for the evening, so we are going to start wrapping up the show. Tell us where people can find you on the internet, starting with Cole.
So my Twitter is ISA_KOLE. I've actually gained probably 60 followers in the past 28 days alone just because of my jokes. So you're getting about 2 bad Destiny jokes a day,
They're great.
which I guess people love. I do stream on Twitch. Still trying to figure out all the bugs of that, but as soon as I have Last Wish down, I'll be doing Raid Sherpas again. So be sure to pop in because I love teaching people. So yeah, it's where to find me.
Nice.
Excellent. Xanafan.
You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram at Xanafan711. I do 2 other podcasts, Barely a Destiny Show and Lit Lore, both of which are in the same feed. Just go to barelyads.com for all that stuff. And then I stream for Planet Destiny right here on Monday night. So come back tomorrow night. Say hello.
Do it. Aura.
You can find me at twitch.tv/Aura, formerly known as Evil Aura, still Evil Aura on Twitter, 3VIL_AURA.
Excellent. And you can find me, Danfinity, on Twitter at Danfinity, but the I's are L's because it's all capitalized and there's a situation.
Hey, there's no warlocks here to laugh at you this week.
I know. Oh, I'm so glad. So glad. You can find me here on Thursday mornings, unless I have work. But I'm here playing PvE content for you. Also on twitch.tv/Danfinity. You can find me on this podcast almost every Sunday and SideQuest Sunday, which is the podcast that I run about content creators. And this week we have Rhythm. Next week we have Joe King from Gearbox, actually.
Ooh.
So
Wow.
yeah, that'll be pretty cool. Other than that, I believe that's our show. And to everybody out there in the Destiny world, have a great night.